everybody, Ryan Tigunia here, just coming at you with another Tigunia TikTok, and in this video I'm going to show you some creative button usage inside of Power BI. You may or may not have used some buttons in your Power BI reports, but there's a lot that you can do within those, and sometimes it's going to be taking you over to another place, another report, another website, or you can actually keep your users inside of Power BI and really give them the ability to kind of drive their experience by use of these buttons. So on screen here I've just got a very simple quantity report, right? And so it's just kind of showing different distributions of quantity over locations, item categories, and locations over time, salesperson over time, right? Pretty straightforward, pretty standard Power BI report. But what if I didn't want to have to necessarily add another page to the report, but wanted to give my users wanted to keep them in the same confines, right? The same report. Well, we can do that with buttons and kind of passing some creative ways of displaying different visuals. So for this, we're actually going to go into the View pane of Power BI. We're going to select in the bookmarks and the selection panes. Okay, you may or may not have ever used these before, but we're going to use them in this video. Okay, and upon doing so, we can see a couple of things. We can see all of the selection pane has a list of basically everything in my report. We can see the bookmarks pane right now has nothing. Okay, so to really accomplish this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start off by go ahead and adding 2 more buttons. So I'm going to go to my insert, I'm going to say buttons, and I'm just going to use the blank button for this. Drag this over, drag it over to where I can actually see it here. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and give my button text a little bit of a name here, and in this one I'm going to call it quantity. I'm going to just paste this, or copy and paste that same button. And we're going to create a very similar one, but call this one sales. Okay. And the idea being is I want to allow my users the ability to kind of change which measure they're showing on this dashboard. Right? It doesn't necessarily need to be a measure that you change. Maybe you want to give your users the ability of changing which dimensions are shown, or perhaps which projects or different clientele that you have in there. So in this case, we're just going to use 2 different measures. So we've got the buttons there. Now I'm going to go ahead and create some additional visuals. So I'm just going to take the existing visuals, copy and paste them, put them in the same exact spot as their predecessor. Easier said than done. That's fine, that'll work. And instead of having the quantity measure in there, we're going to drop the sales measure in. Okay. And then I'm going to go over to my quantity by location. We're going to do the same thing. Change the measure. And do the same thing with this last one. Now you might be asking yourself, why are you creating visuals right on top of the other one? Oh my goodness, noise, right? And understandably so. But what we're going to do is we're going to use a creative combination of buttons and bookmarks to make it so that we only see the right visualization for what we're trying to show. And so your users will be able to change the measure that is being shown across these visualizations. Okay? So to start this off, what I'm going to first do is I'm going to say go ahead and just hide those 3 that I just created. The quantity by location, let's make that visible. We'll change the name in a second. We're just going to hide those 3 measures that are 3 visualizations that we showed. And for my button, I'm going to change this and basically make 2 bookmarks. Okay, so I'm going to make it so that my quantity button activates the quantity bookmark, and I'm going to make it so my sales button activates the sales bookmark. Okay, so to do that, let's first make 2 bookmarks. We're going to add a bookmark. We're going to go ahead and call this one quantity, because that's what I've got displayed right now. Then we'll go ahead and add another bookmark. We'll call this one sales. And before I click off of this, I'm going to change which visualizations are being shown. Okay. If you've wait till afterwards, you can create the bookmark then. If not, you can just come in here and update the bookmark like I did, right? So now I have two bookmarks, quantity and sales. And if I was to click those bookmarks, we can see all of my visualizations change, right? Very easy. Now, oftentimes, we don't want to actually present the bookmarks pane to our users, though. And to make it so that they don't have to, we can kind of present that with buttons. I'm going to come in here and change my title real quick. Perfect. There. So I've got my quantity, I've got my sales, right? Lastly, all I'm going to do is I'm going to make these buttons kind of active. So I'm going to click into this sales button, and we're going to go into the action and just turn it on. Okay? Once that's turned on, you can see that there's a lot of different types that we can have selected. Whether that's the bookmark, a drill through, a Q&A page, or direct web URL, right? If you wanted to pass them over to an invoice or something inside of your CRM, right? You can do these kind of things. In this case, we're going to actually activate the bookmark, and we're going to change it so that when my sales button is activated, my sales bookmark is turned on. And similarly, I'm going to go to my quantity button, turn its action on, and set that to quantity. Okay. Now that that's set, as my users start clicking through their buttons, the visualizations are going to change. Okay. Now this is just kind of scratching the surface, if you will, but you can see how buttons can start to dynamically represent and display your measures, your data, and whatever you wanted it to show. So this has been just another quick TikTok with Ryan Patterson here. So hope you enjoy, and reach out if you have any questions. Bye-bye.